How I lit this cinematic sequence without using one single light. Hello everybody, my name is Marco Bagnoli, I'm a cinematographer. Today I'm going to show you how I shot this sequence of a fragrance commercial, and I will show you very simple techniques where you can look after when you're in on a location and don't have enough space. You can copy these techniques for your next project and I will promise you it will still look amazing. So this is the first shot we're looking at, and we have Mark Gebauer sitting in front of a mirror looking at himself, and this whole scene was only lit with the practicals that were already here. This is a hotel room. The thing you have to look for is not adding light, but sometimes removing lights. When we go for the wide shot, you can see we have two lights here, one practical here, but this practical was somewhere else. It was in another room. We placed it here to get a little bit more highlights in this room. And also these are not Aputure bulbs. Normally you would change the bulb when you have the right mount, but these have this little mount for bulbs, but the Aputure ones need the bigger ones. I don't know actually if there are any adapters, but no one ever in my life from the light department said, oh, we have a converter. So I think there is none. So also here, pretty cool to make something more interesting, or when the scene is a little bit dizzy, it's a nice Dutch angle. Something you can throw anytime in every project you do, just for the lols. When you have somehow the feeling you're missing a few shots, just put your camera at an angle. It sells an emotion, pretty dynamic, also pretty cool. Also here, we let both of these practicals on, but turned off everything else because we wanted to create a silhouette. Everything here should be dark because we wanted to focus only on the center. And that's what I mean when we say we paint with light. It's always removing, adding, removing, adding, removing, adding. Because I removed the light from this bathtub here, the focus feels much more centered because there are the light sources. Our eyes always tend to look at the brightest part somewhere, and that's something we use. So back to this shot, and as you see it, it's very creamy actually. It really has a nice roll of nice color rendition, and that's because we turned the bulb on this side off and let it on this side. So we created with just turning one bulb away this nice contrast on his face, and because of the cover of the lamp we got this really nice soft source that gave him the key, and that's practically it what we've done. You can see here a little bit of highlights, and we got them because we turned on the lamps on the other side of the room or in the other rooms of the hotel to create a little bit of separation and interest, so that it's not only him being pretty dark. Also, you see this little edge light on him. This is also not a light that we turned on. This is the practical from the shot before that we just placed slightly behind him because I don't want it to be a too aggressive backlight, and it should feel natural, so we used the lamp. Also not a lot of space, time, we needed lamps somewhere else. So always you have to be intelligent with your sources, because you cannot throw every lamp at every scene. The clients most of the time, they just want to be over when they're the person itself that pays for everything. They don't like to wait, so try to make everything as efficient as possible. So then we switched the room, and he's standing here at the window, and as you can see, here's a guy laying down with the axe in his back. And here again, the only lights that we used are the practical here. Here was also a lamp that gives a little bit of key to the piano over there. Also always nice, also for music videos or something, that just throw some transparent material over something. It will make everything more reflective, more interesting. Also on the light sources, it creates a much softer and dynamic feeling and just looks cool. And here again, the X is actually VFX, so there's just a guy and the X got placed in later, because there's no way how you can mount an X on someone's body like this without it falling every time over. So we said, okay, forget it, we do it in post. Looks very good because we made a silhouette. Here again, we want to focus on him, on the background, and just give a feeling of something strange, aggressive happened in the foreground without making it too much 18+, because we're still on YouTube. We don't want to get the video flagged or taken down. So you have to look always to make everything a little bit more safe for everyone. So this is an extreme wide shot of the scene, and you can see again We put this transparent material over the lamps, also here above the furniture, over the piano. And we work most of the time with practicals in some curve or leading lines where I want the people to look at. So I want to extend the scene that there's a table. I want to see, okay, here's another table. And then we use the torchlights from the other people walking around to reveal more details in the scenery that he's looking here. Okay, what is happening on his table, what's happening in his corner. Also to make nice transition. He wheels the light across the lens so that we had nice transition. Also, we didn't make it in time. When you're working with such big windows, you should have a time of the day where it's not completely dark. Here we were a little bit late, so blue hour would be perfect. It's the best look you can get because we wanted to make this very warm feeling inside. So every lamp here is warm, and then this cold torches to get this really nice color contrast, and would really nice addition. The air in the background would also be blue, but you cannot have everything in your life. So, and here again, not one single light being used, just clever placement, nice exposure, letting your actors do something that adds light to the scenery, and then you're done. So we have now 3-4 shots, not one single light is being used. Here again, just a different angle. Here above the pictures, also practical. So we just place your actor always also on the right position. We just placed her nice here in center, so she get framed perfectly from everything. She's practically painting in the scenario. And here again, the practicals were in this position. But like I said before, practical continuity is something I couldn't care less about. When the shot looks boring there, throw every lamp over there. If the shot looks boring there, throw every lamp over there that you have. So when you then overdo it to the total, no one cares. Only filmmakers cares, and we don't make commercials for filmmakers most of the time, just for the simple, stupid audience. So don't overstress yourself with continuity. But here again, also the close-up of the way he's washing his hands. There was, I think, one single light. So, but the same technique was we turned the bulb on this side of the image off so that we get this nice dark contrast on the side. This lamp on this side was on, and then just one MC, I think, was shooting down because I really liked the glow we're getting from this type of thing. I don't know the word. And it gets really nice reflection also on the hand, really nice aesthetic, some silverish feel from that. Then we have this outside shot. As you can see, we have really nice compression because the location that we're shooting at was used very often for other things. So we always think about, okay, how can I make something different or overcome the look of the location? And we choose to use very long lenses. I think it was a 200 to 400 lens or something like this. And we're going really for the full compression that he gets isolated in the image very much. Then we added smoke. Day situation always looks special, more premium, because, you know, most of the time you haze in the dark, but not on the day, or smoke at the day. I think really adds nice separation also to everything. And also again, this shot isn't lit, but it feels lit because of the planning. So when you have the time and the possibilities to lead when you shoot what scene, we planned the shoot that we shooted. This was on a bridge, and the sun sets on this side. So we waited for the outside shots that the sun got to a position where it's very low and came from wrong side. Then if we got closer, someone with a negative fill was walking with a flag just to add a little bit more contrast to the face. But I think overall this looks very good, very three-dimensional, not flat at all, even though we shoot in at day and not using one single light. Also here again, here we used a very wide lens, 12mm or something like that. Also extended the shot a little bit. I think normal framing was something like that, but we wanted this more abstract feeling of what we see a lot. And here again, as you can see, it looks pretty lit, long shadows, hard shadows. But again, we planned this shot that the sun is somewhere here. And that's where we get this nice contrast. But overall, guys, color grading is important. I think so. There were phases where everyone said, oh, color grading doesn't matter, but I think it matters a lot because this whole depth we only get with power mask. I put this down, make this darker, made him brighter a lot. Here, make also this side of the frame darker, this brighter, let it more pop. All these little things, right time of the day, nice wide angle lens, nice leading lines, doing your power mask in DaVinci adds up. Good cinematography is for me a lot of things that add up, that you get a cool special look, and I think that's a very special cool looking shot right here without using one single light. Also this scenery, it's an over shoulder shot of himself looking in the outside. We are outside into a mirror. And here again, we have nice separation because we planned that the sun is here, just a little diffusion, just it was a frost frame, just one by one, because it was a close up, and then a floppy or a T-bar on this side to get a little bit of contrast. And that's it. Again, not one single light, but we got a really three-dimensional feeling here without them looking boring and flat. Here, this was a scene where we used one light. It was just a 600D just blasting into his face because I really wanted this very hard light look. As you can see also here, light placement, very important. I wanted the exact day of the time of the day that we get this nice shadows just across the floor with this nice window reflection. And oh, I see it right now, the VFX artist actually thought of it and made reflections of the cast that we added later in. That's actually pretty cool. Never noticed it, but props to VFX artist. And here normally you would say, that's actually also no-go. Why is he lit and now he is lit? I think it was a cool transition. We have this dumb, dark feeling and he walks, everything is very spicy at the moment, what is happening? And then the reveal, the jib goes down, we go on a slow angle shot, we see this crazy cast going everywhere in every direction, and then this hard light on his face made it really dramatic and three-dimensional. One of my favorite shot of this commercial. Then here this portrait scene, also really fast and easy to copy. It's actually just camera on a longer lens, and then a big Aputure 600D with a big lantern, oof, wrong tool, just above the camera. Above the camera, 45-degree angle. It's like a beauty dish you would use in a fashion commercial. Then on the background, just an F22 with a little bit of red color to enhance the background. The background also very cool technique. It's just backdrop, a gray backdrop, and I've used a lot of red color and just painted very wet, so that we get this blood feeling in the background, and the red light that you barely notice just adds a little bit of this feeling back into our actor. But overall, that's a very cool dramatic look. Also no reflection on the glasses. I don't know how we managed to do that, but looks very cool in my opinion with just one light. Okay, can say two lights, but the backlight is not that necessary. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a subscription for you. Check out the info box, there are a lot of nice things for you. My name is Marco Bagnoli and see you next time.